And now it's time for Take 5 with Damien Elliott, the show where he comes out and interviews a celebrity.
Good evening, I'm Damien Elliott. Are you ready for seconds? Good, because today marks the second episode of the second half of my show, and tonight I have here with me Chuck Shemin.
Hi.
He's the oldest member of Jesse and Friends so far, and the older brother of our previous guest, Emma. So, Chuck, if you would.
Oh, I'm honored. I've always wanted to be on live TV.
Well, this is your lucky day, Chuck. I'm about to ask you a bunch of questions tonight. I'm always up to answer a bunch of questions. Okay, here we go. What's the craziest thing a boss has ever asked you to do? Well, actually, a grumpy man told me to scrub the corners of the bathrooms of Grand Central Station while me and the gang were out in New York. Went a bit well. What? Would you rather work for 10-hour days or 5 8-hour days? I think 4 10-hour days, because that gives me enough exercise for my brain and eyes. Hey, I'm a poet. I don't know it. Alright, next question. If you are guaranteed to be successful, what job would you want? Oh, any job other than be a chef for Jesse and the gang, so I choose to be a teacher at DeVry University. What was your first job? Did you like it?
My first job.
Well, easier said than done, but when I was about 7 years old, my first job was working with my grandma at Joe's Crab Shack in Oceanside, California, where she and me used to live. What's the best career advice you've ever received? I think Jesse gave me some good advice about being a good older foster brother and problem solver to the gang, even though I've not shown it much on the Jesse and Friends show. Being a problem solver is a picnic. Are you reading any good books right now? Yes, every Friday I visit the Finville Library and find young adult novels aiming towards men like myself. This past Friday I got Artemis Fowl, and I've been succeeding in reading each chapter like a pro. How about shows? Well, Damien, not much for binge watching on Netflix. Emma and I used to watch SpongeBob when we were kids in California. We stopped watching it by the time I was 20. The times, they are a-changin', as Bob Dylan has said. If you could only watch one genre of movies for the rest of your whole life, what would it be? Rom-coms. There's this movie called Isn't It Romantic, and I'm gonna go see it with Destiny. She's my girlfriend. You watch that episode, Chuck's Got a Date with Destiny? Well, yeah, I have. Yes, I definitely have. Alright, next question. What's a book you hated that everyone else loved, and vice versa? Gordon Hatches the Egg by Dr. Seuss. It's too childish. Too childish. Well, next question. What's the last movie that made you cry or laugh aloud? I don't cry much during movies. I did laugh aloud when Emma took me to see Peter Rabbit. Whom would you want to be your amazing race partner? I reckon Lucius would have to be. He's a good friend and all. Next question. Who is your favorite person to follow on Instagram? Emma and any member of our family. Does your family have any secret recipes or famous recipes? Kouschikis. They're a De Laurentiis / Sherman family recipe. If you're wondering what that is, it's a delightful pastry with a thin, flaky crust that is also known as angel wings. Heavenly, isn't it? What's something that's easy to bring in for lunch that isn't a sandwich? Pan pepperoni pizzas. I order them from Pizza Hut. What's the coolest road trip you've ever been on? One in New York City. Emma loves it. If you could take a workcation or sabbatical, where would you go and what would you do? I don't know. I love California as much as I love New York, so I guess I could go back there for a while, or maybe I could go to Australia and bring Ems with me and we could go to the beach together there. Where did you live before this? What are the biggest differences you see? Could you play that clip from last night? True, very true. And it's even more true that I interviewed her about it. True, very, very true story. Alright, next question. What did you think you were going to be growing up?
Oh, there are endless possibilities, man.
Do you have any hidden talents or surprising hobbies?
Well, when I'm not doing anything with Jesse and the gang, I'm just reading the young adult novels, sorry about that, from the library, as mentioned earlier, and playing on my Xbox.
What was your favorite extracurricular in elementary school? Cooking. What was the must-have accessory or item when you were growing up? Well, I'm growing up now, so there's no telling what must-have accessories there might be. What's the most unbelievable thing that has ever happened to you? Being like a foster brother to Emma, taking responsibilities with her and such. Who's the most important role model or mentor you've had in your life? Jesse, because he's the leader of my pack. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? I already told you earlier, silly. Well, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom now, so one more question before I go. What would be your ideal superpower?
To be the strongest man in the whole world and save millions of lives. I'll let you go to the bathroom now and
cut this episode short. Good night, folks.
You have been watching Take 5 with Damien Elliott.